Good morning. I'm bringing you Thought for the Day today on Thursday the 18th of November. I have to confess that my heart sank a little when my reminder came through for Thought for the Day. I'm not very good at planning it around everything else. I don't always put it as a priority, which it should be, as it's a real privilege to do. And I don't feel that I necessarily have a message to bring. However, when I looked at them, the passages for today were great, and two of them in particular. I finally decided on this one, which is from Isaiah, and I shall explain why after I have read it. So the passage is Isaiah chapter 11, the peaceful kingdom. A shoot shall come out from the stump of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. The Spirit of the Lord shall rest on him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord. His delight shall be in the fear of the Lord. He shall not judge by what his eyes see, or decide by what his ears hear. But with righteousness he shall judge the poor, and decide with equity for the meek of the earth. He shall strike the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips he shall kill the wicked. Righteousness shall be the belt around his waist, and faithfulness the belt around his loins. The wolf shall live with the lamb. The leopard shall lie down with the kid. The calf and the lion and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them. The cow and the bear shall graze, their young shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. The nursing child shall play over the hole of the asp, and the weaned child shall put its hand on the adder's den. They will not hurt or destroy on all my holy mountain, for the earth will be full of the knowledge of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea. So Isaiah, a Hebrew prophet, is said to have spoken his prophecies, or his predictions, about Jesus Christ around 742 BC. BCE. Nowadays, if we come across people in the media or if we see them on the street and they appear to be sprouting prophecies, we avoid them. And most are very odd, and what they say rarely comes true. For example, all the predictions that there have been for the end of the world, particularly around the millennium, which, by the way, isn't spoken about in the Bible. We don't know the time for the end of the world, but we tend to avoid these things. Isaiah would also have been thought odd and strange, and yet 742 years later, his prophecies came true through the birth of Jesus Christ. And I chose this passage because it seemed very apt for this pre-Advent time that we're now in. We're sort of halfway through November and people are starting to feel a little bit Christmassy, probably. My children and I are beginning to, and we love Christmas so much. My husband not quite so much. We love Advent especially, and the feelings of excitement as we look forward. In fact, Advent is probably more exciting than the actual Christmas week itself. And I think that is because it is so lovely to look forward to something. And here, Isaiah is looking forward to something. So in this passage, after speaking very tough words before the passage I read, where Isaiah speaks about the godless Assyrian Empire, chapter 11 begins by saying, "But there will be one who brings peace. A shoot from the stump of Jesse, And this is referring to King David's line, which Jesus came from. It says, "The Spirit of the Lord shall rest on him." And then it speaks about wisdom, understanding, counsel, and might will come from him. And then it says, "He shall not judge by sight," which is what we all do. It infers that he will judge our hearts, our inner being. It also says, "He won't strike the earth with a gun or a sword, but with the rod of his mouth." In other words, by what he says and what he teaches. "The breath of his lips shall kill the wicked," i.e., his words will be so powerful and truthful that the wicked will not be able to stand them. And then it speaks about this time of peace. And that is the part when it talks about the lion shall live with the lamb, and that description there. And then finally in verse 9, I love this verse, where it says, "For the earth will be full of the knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea." What an amazing thought, that all people will know and be in awe of God. So 742 years later, Jesus Christ was born, the shoot from Jesse. And we celebrate this every year. And all that was said about him, all that Isaiah said about him was true. However, as Isaiah later also predicted, he was rejected and killed. His peaceful kingdom is not yet completely fulfilled. It's only partly fulfilled. And as Christians, we believe that he is still to come again, and he will bring a new world, a peaceful new world. His peace will reign once and for all. So I hope this passage brings you some hope today and some excitement as we head towards Advent in a few weeks, the time when we await for the celebrations of the birth of Jesus, the one who one day will bring this peaceful kingdom that we long for. I hope you have a really good day.